We're going to go ahead and get started. Welcome to those who are here in person, to those who are live streaming. Ooh, okay. I'll just say welcome again in case it wasn't as audible, but welcome to those who are here in person, to those who are live streaming, and our community in Catalina. We will have Vice President Miller lead us in the pledge.
Please stand.
I will ask our board secretary to take a roll call and establish a quorum.
Board Member Lopez.
Present.
President Craighead.
Here.
Board Member Benitez.
Here.
And Vice President Miller.
Here.
And Board Member Otto.
Here, or not here, but present.
We have a quorum.
Thank you. Before we have a motion on the agenda, there are a couple of modifications. So the first one is that the teleconference location has been modified to the following location: number 359, Section 7, Zhangshao East Road, Nangang District, Taipei City, 115, Taiwan, room 23117. And then also on item 9.1, the second paragraph should read June 7th, 2026, and not June 3rd, 2026 for the day of the superintendent interviews. So we need a motion to adopt the agenda.
Move to adopt the agenda as amended.
Second.
Any discussion? I'll ask our board secretary to take a roll call vote.
Vice President Miller.
Aye.
Member Benitez.
Aye.
President Craighead.
Aye.
Member Otto.
Aye.
And Member Lopez.
Aye.
That is 5-0. That's a yes.
Thank you.
Passes.
And now we are at public comment. Do we have speakers for items listed on the agenda?
No, we do not have any speakers for items listed on the agenda.
Okay, then
We do have 7 speakers for items not listed on the agenda.
okay. I don't know what that was. But, so we have no speakers for items on the agenda, but we have speakers for items not on the agenda.
That is correct. We have 7 speakers for items not on the agenda.
Okay, I'll just give a quick reminder, because we don't have Dr. Twal here, that it's 3 minutes. So we will go ahead and have our speakers for items not on the agenda.
Our first speaker is Crystal Ramirez, followed by Sophia Grace Kelly.
Hi. I can hear myself. Okay. Good evening, members of the school board. My name is Crystal Ramirez, and I'm the parent of Sophia Grace, an incoming 7th grader at Stevens Middle School. I'm here today to speak about the future of the dual immersion program at Stevens and the importance of keeping access to this program available for our West Side community. Sophia Grace has been part of the dual immersion program since she was in Webster Elementary. We understand that the district is considering making one main school the designated dual immersion site and requiring students to attend that location. My concern is that the change could create barriers for families. because of transportation challenges. Without transportation, students may be forced to leave a program they have been committed to, not because they're no longer want to participate, but because they cannot access it. Stevens Middle School already has a DI immersion program serving students on the west side instead of moving them. Oh, I'm so sorry, I lost my track. Our school deserves the funding. Sorry, where are we? Every student should have the opportunity to participate in this program that enriches their education without transportation or location becoming a barrier. I respectfully ask the board to consider keeping dual immersion available at Stevens Middle School and providing the resources needed to help this program continue to succeed. Thank you for your time and listening to my concerns.
Thank you.
The next speaker is Sophia Grace Kelly Ramirez, followed by Ruby Martinez.
It's okay. Get down. You don't have to tippy toe.
Hello, my name is Sophia Grace, and I'm an incoming 7th grader at Stevens Middle School. I've been a part of the DI program since I was a student at Webster Elementary School. Through my experience, the program has helped me grow not just academically, but also culturally and personally. Since DI will be getting moved to Hoover, I am forced to drop the program because I will no longer have any kind of transportational option. I strongly believe that this program brings many opportunities to students, and rather than cutting it or moving it, it should be valued at Stevens Elementary School. I hope you take this thought into deep considerations. Y gracias por su tiempo.
Thank you.
Next, we have Ruby Martinez, followed by Mabel Martinez.
Good evening, board, members of superintendent of the board. My name is Ruby Martinez, and I'm a dual enrollment student at Stevens Middle School. I'm here today to respectfully ask the district to reconsider moving the dual immersion program from Stevens Middle School. I'm currently in 6th grade, and also I'm taking classes through Long Beach City College. As a student, I know firsthand how important it is to have a school environment that supports academic growth and success. Stevens has provided that for me for my whole time here. The dual immersion program has helped me become a stronger student, improve my bilingual skills, and build meaningful relationships with teachers and classmates. It has also helped me grow within my community on the west side of Long Beach. Being able to attend school in the community where I live has allowed me to build connections, participate in local activities, and develop a deeper understanding of the people and neighborhoods that have shaped who I am. Stevens is more than just a school. It's a community where I feel supported, challenged, and encouraged to achieve my goals. I respectfully ask that you consider the impact this decision will have on students and families. Please work with the community to find a solution that allows this program to continue serving students while remaining accessible to everyone. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Next, we have Mabel Martinez, followed by Ines Layton.
Hey, I'm Mabel Martinez, and I'm Ruby Martinez's mom. I just want to say that I intentionally chose Stevens as the middle school for Ruby. I live on the west side. I'm part of the Long Beach West Side Association, part of the West Side Advocates. I wanted my daughter to grow within her community. I think it's important. The dual immersion program, most of the students score high. They score great academically, and I just think that we're taking that huge chunk of students who are doing well and moving them to another side of town. Stevens is supposed to be the pride of the West Side, but what pride is that when we're moving our students over to somewhere else? I think that there should be another way or a type of pathway that we can keep at Stevens to be able to keep our students there. And moving the students to Hoover is just a temporary fix, because within 2-3 years, even that's not going to be large enough. So you guys are going to find yourself looking to a better solution. So instead of waiting the 2-3 years to figure out what you're going to do then, why not create pathways now? Thank you.
Thank you.
Next, we have Inez Layton, followed by Tia Hart.
Hey, dear members of the board and LBUSD community, my people here. I'm here as a parent and an educator of the same community to request that you please reconsider the closure of the Stevens Middle School DLI program. We are fortunate that our school as a family, our school of residence was Webster, which is a DI school, and both of my children were able to enroll in that program. When the DLI strand was set to open at Stevens, our oldest child, which was supposed to stand up here with me, was part of that first group, like part of the guinea pigs, you know? As parents, we were able to witness how our children were working through challenges, learning independence, and leaning into the strengths of their peers and powerful educators that they have there at Stevens DI. There were bumps along the way, but that was expected as the program was just starting. Halfway through the school year, one of those major bumps was that we were notified that the program would be consolidated for the 2027-2028 school year at a central campus in order to accommodate the growth of the DI program, specifically at Keller, effectively closing down the pathway program before I'd even had a chance to settle in and be established. The weight of this has been hitting me for a little bit. I was not able to be at the January meeting. But we were all at a meeting, all of us right here, we were all at a meeting last week, and we're here a week later, asking you to please reconsider. Requesting you consider this decision and help ensure the sustainability and the equity of the DI program by having multiple strands available at the middle school level, including the one that's hosted at Stevens. Let me take a breath, hold on. Whew, okay. For many of us and the surrounding community that includes the DI elementary schools of Webster, Lafayette, Chavez, having a DI option in a community increases accessibility and equity that is otherwise out of reach for us at Keller or even at Hoover. Geographically, Hoover may be located centrally in the districts. However, the district promotes equity as a core value, and we know that Central does not guarantee equitable. Additionally, Hoover may be accessible to more DI students, including the students on the north side, and their families than Keller as the sole option was. But looking at the projected growth of the DI program, the need will soon outgrow the capacity of the Hoover campus as well. Keeping the pathway at Stevens as well as transitioning to Keller to the Hoover campus not only supports the vision of equity, but of sustainability for the growth of this program. Really quickly, Dr. Bailey was not able to be here, but she is a Stevens DI parent, and she requested that you provide an analysis of the attrition rate of DI students from 5th to 6th grade due to the transportation barriers that they would face, as well as a comparison of the cost and sustainability for implementation of a single site model versus the DLI program that would have multiple pathways. Thank you all so much.
Thank you.
Next, we have Tia Hart, followed by Alejandra Martinez.
Hello. I represent the parents from the north side. I intentionally chose Stevens DI program for my child when entering 6th grade. I questioned the program there at first, but slowly but surely I did learn that Stevens is indeed the pride of the west side. I'm nervous. We love and have seen our students thrive at Stevens with that DI model. It offers the possibility for our students to access tenured teachers inside and outside of the DI program who understand the needs of the learners and the needs of students in an underserved community. The pathway model is used for other specialized programs. Dealing with career paths, high school, middle school. We want to know why that was not considered as an option for Stevens in LBUSD. This would meet the growing needs of the interest in the DI program while providing an equitable option of adding this to multiple school sites. The current and the current plan that you have in place for the students to attend school at one site with the trajectory and the interest in the DI program that you have at LBUSD, that looks like those positions will be filled within 5 years. We request that you keep that program open at Stevens and allow us to have an opportunity for it to grow. I looked at the maps, Google Maps, for the students who will use the transportation, public transportation, to get to Hoover. It is a 55-minute ride with several changes, and it's I know some adults that would not take a job with a 55-minute commute. I think that is too much for the children, and it's not equitable because it takes the ability for parents who cannot get their students safely to school away from people who do not live in that area, in that Hoover area. We would really like a chance to grow that program at Stevens. The priority was placed on the ease of the implementation in a single site rather than the best practice of pathway or the track-based implementation that is the typical option for middle and high schools across the country. A single site creates an opportunity for the privileged, but limits the opportunity of the underprivileged and kids in underserved communities. It limits the access. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next, we have Alejandra Martinez.
Good afternoon, members of the board. My name is Alejandra Martinez, and my son currently attends the Stevens DI program. I was informed about 2 weeks ago that if my son was to continue the DI program this following year, he would have no option but to transfer to Hoover and would lose his place at Stevens after being there the first 2 years of middle school. Due to my full-time working position, I depend on my mother to take and bring him from school. It made me feel like we were being discouraged from keeping my son in the program and given only weeks to decide on the next 2 years of his schooling. Continuing the program in our neighborhood would not only allow our children to continue this amazing program, but all the other children who would miss out on this opportunity due to transportation issues that working parents experience daily. We are here to request a reconsideration in keeping the program at Stevens Middle School and allowing children in West Long Beach to participate in the same programs as other parts of Long Beach. Thank you for listening to our concerns.
Thank you.
That concludes our speakers.
Thank you. So at this time, the board will be taking a pause. We're going to be meeting in closed session and we'll return here in a few minutes.
Dr. Baker, can we be briefed on the current status of this meeting that occurred at the school and what the parents are sharing? Thank you. Thank you, parents.
Thank you, everyone. We will reconvene this meeting. The board has been meeting in closed session regarding matters listed on today's agenda. On item 7.1, on a motion made by Member Benitez and seconded by Vice President Miller, the board voted 5-0 to approve the appointment of David Zaid as the superintendent of the Long Beach Unified School District commencing on July 1st, 2026. And next on the agenda, should we, I know.
We're not done yet, Madam Chair.
No, I know. I was hoping to sneak through the rest of the business so we could get to the celebration, and we will get to the celebration, but we do have one item of business, so we'll take care of that. Prior to the board's consideration of the superintendent's employment agreement, Government Code Sections 53262 and 54953 require an oral summary of items affecting the superintendent's annual compensation. This agenda item approves the superintendent's employment agreement. The agreement term is 3 years, commencing on July 1st, 2026, with an annual salary of $398,000 plus longevity and other stipends provided to certificated employees. So we need a motion.
Move to approve.
Second.
Any discussion? We'll take a roll call vote.
Member Lopez.
Aye.
Member Otto.
Aye.
President Craighead.
Aye.
Member Benitez.
Aye.
And Vice President Miller.
Aye.
That is 5-0. Motion passes.
Thank you. Just as some brief comments, for the Board of Education, the superintendent is the only employee that we directly oversee. And it is incumbent upon the board to hire a new superintendent when that becomes necessary. Over the past several months, we've been working with a search firm, Leadership Associates, to embark on this process of finding a new superintendent. And with their help, we have found somebody who has experience with our district, who has heart for our students, for the staff. And we have chosen somebody who has displayed a vision for how we go forward in this tough time. There are big shoes to fill here, because Long Beach has enjoyed a very long legacy of fabulous leaders. We had Carl Cohn in the 1990s. Carl Cohn is the one who brought uniforms to our district, mid-1990s, around 94. And then we had Chris Steinhauser, who was the superintendent for 18 years. So he led the district for 18 years. And then we had our first female superintendent after 134 years of this district, and made an incredible difference in our students. And so after undergoing this process and really casting a wide net, with open minds, we had a look at applicants, and there's something about the commitment that you've made to invest in your career solely in Long Beach, just in Long Beach. And it's not just that that you've had different positions that give you a unique perspective, whether it's human relations, classroom experience, elementary experience, all these other things, but it's also your vision for the future, and that's these are all things that went into our decision. I'm going to pass it to the other board members. And I'm first going to pass it to Dr. Benitez.
Thank you, President Craighead. Mr. Zaid, I'm up here shaking on your behalf. I'm so proud of you. And I'm going to start with this, David. I want to apologize to that 5-year-old boy that our system failed. And you are absolutely the right person to do right by all the children, all the students, all the families that our system has not yet fulfilled the promise of a high quality, equitable, impactful, transformative, best education that we can provide to children. You are the right person. You have a clear vision of where our district needs to go, David. And I'm looking at you because we're going to put you to task, right? Because you are the right person. And I'm looking at you right in the eyes, David, because you have that clear vision of where we need to go. You have a keen understanding of those things that we are doing well, but additionally, a keen understanding and experience and commitment to change, fix, pivot, do more of those things that we are not yet doing well, to do right by every single student in our district, but particularly our most underserved students, David, particularly our most underserved. Our students with disabilities, our students in our foster care system, our poor students, those 2/3 of our students on free and reduced meals, our Black students, David, our multilingual learners, our LGBTQ plus students, all those students that our system has not yet fulfilled our promise around an equitable, high quality, high impact, great education. You also have the values that you carry and exemplify every single day, and we're going to need for you to double up on those values around equity, those values around the best thing in our district, the diversity, those values around inclusion, those values that are words as part of our mantra, but that all educators here want to make sure to uphold and exemplify to be able to fulfill that promise, David. So I congratulate you. I'm so proud of you. You are absolutely the right person in this moment in time for this district, but you got your work and you got a lot of it cut out. And as President Craig had shared, you have big shoes to fill to fulfill that promise to those students that we have not yet fulfilled that promise to, David. So the work isn't starting for you because you've been with the district for so long, but certainly in this different capacity, please count on me. Please count on your team. You got the best team in the country too, David. So if you don't succeed, it's on you. All right, because the team is ready and equipped, well equipped to address those challenges, but to fulfill that vision. All right, so congratulations. Soon to be Dr. Zaid as well.
Yeah.
Vice President Miller.
Well, my man, Mr. Zaid, you know how much I value you as a person, along with the great skill set that you bring to this district. And I absolutely believe that you are the man for this job at this moment. You were talking a little bit about previous superintendents. And so for your two daughters that are here, I want to give a little bit of context to some of those superintendents and the tough decisions that they had to make. So we talk about Carl Cohn. He made the decision about bringing in school uniforms. And you hear that, and it's like, that doesn't sound like a very tough decision at all. But you have to remember the context of the 90s. There were young kids in 2nd grade, 3rd grade, 4th grade being jumped and killed because of the colors of their shirts, because of the gang violence that was happening on PCH and Santa Fe and all of these other places. So we made a tough decision to impose uniforms so that there's this uniformity that keeps kids safe so that they can go up and back to school. Then you have Chris Steinhauser, who while he was in his position for 16 years, 18 years, goodness gracious, he had to make a really tough decision, which was reducing some of our staffing, right? And once again, you hear it and you say, well, that doesn't sound too hard, was it? Well, unfortunately, during that time period, the United States was going through one of the biggest recessions we've had in almost 40 years. And so there were a lot of tough decisions that had to be made. There were some decisions about people's families that had to be made. And Chris made those decisions. And then we move on to Jill. And Jill assumed the job in the midst of a deadly pandemic where once again, she had to make tough decisions about keeping campuses open to feed kids during this tough financial time and this tough time to even go out into the community. Those are the types of decisions that your dad is going to be in charge of. And it's going to be a whole lot of work. It's going to be some long days. It's going to be some tough days. So we're going to continue to surround him with support, with hope, with prayers. And I know that with all of those things in mind, regardless of where we are in regards to how we're funding education, regardless of how crazy the people are up in Washington, we're going to continue to persevere and do what is best to serve our kids. And I know that we have the leader who's going to help us do that. So congratulations again, and I look forward to working with you.
Mr. Otto, I wanted to give you a chance. Can you hear us?
Thank you. As David, as you know, I think as everybody knows on the board, had this long planned trip to go with my wife to China. Excuse me, I shouldn't say that, to Taiwan, to this conference that she was attending. And so that's why I'm not there. But as you know, I've been involved in the selection process, and I'm very, very happy to welcome you to the superintendency at the Long Beach Unified School District. You know, the superintendent's job at this level is very different than it was just 5 years ago. That we went through this pandemic. We've seen declining enrollments. We've seen financial challenges, and yet we've always, Long Beach Unified has been very successful. And I will remember the day that I came on this board and went to my first community meeting. This is 6 years ago, where the people in districts that were very nearby to us were chastising their superintendents, their leaders, saying that they needed more, they wanted more. They had people coming from other areas to say what they thought, and that was all negative. But when I was at that first meeting, what I saw in the minds of the people in the Long Beach Unified School District, the parents, the children, the staff, and the board, was that everybody believed in the Long Beach Unified School District and its history, what it had done, and what it could do into the future. And so we got an opportunity to keep going. And I've learned more in those 6 years that what we're doing is going well. When the search process came up, we had very talented candidates. We had people that had very great experience and knew the Long Beach way and how it could be done. But you wound up standing out. You stood out because of your heart, your vision. You were able to bring people together and have a history of doing that, not only at the Long Beach Unified School District, but in the community. And I'm proud of you. I'm proud of the process that we went through, and I saw you emerge as the person that could take us to the next level and keep us going. Education is very challenged these days, and I appreciate all that you've done. I appreciate the way you ran this campaign, and I look forward to working with you going into the future. Thank you.
Thank you. Member Lopez?
Well, throughout the process of selecting a new superintendent, quite frankly, I felt very strongly that the district would benefit from a leader from outside of the organization, because I truly believed a new and a fresh perspective was needed. And really, my view was shaped by the reality that despite the hard work of many dedicated individuals in the district, we have not achieved the desired student outcomes. Our students are capable of more, and I believe we must be willing to embrace new ideas and new approaches rather than continue with the proven work. That said, Mr. Saeed, I am behind you. I believe you will make great changes. I will support you, and my focus will be on helping you succeed in this role. Ultimately, this is not about one individual, it's not about you, it's not about me, it's about our students. And if our students succeed, and if you succeed, our school succeeds and ultimately our students succeed. So congratulations, and I am looking forward to us working together to move this district in a new direction.
Thank you. Dr. Baker.
Yes, thank you. Taking it all in, sitting next to my colleague, Mr. Zaid. Such a gift to sit in the room with you tonight as you announce the next superintendent for LBUSD. I have had the honor and privilege of working closely with David Zaid for more than 2 decades. And I can state without hesitation that David is exceptionally well prepared to lead LBUSD with vision, integrity, and an unwavering commitment to students. David's 32-year career, 4 as a college aide, and then a teacher in LBUSD, is rooted in students and community. As a Poly alum and father of 3 LBUSD students, David comes to the position of superintendent with clarity, connection, and conviction. Over the past 6 years, David's leadership has been instrumental to our district's success. Some of David's contributions and milestones include being a steady and calming force in human resource services during the darkest days of the pandemic, leading many of the critical functions and decisions that allowed us to reopen our schools and restore education to our families. David worked alongside Dr. Brown in the development of the equity leadership team that was created to develop a community-driven excellence and equity policy passed by the board in 2021. At this critical time in our district's shift and community engagement efforts, David's deep connection and relationships within the Long Beach community were important bridges to building trust with community. As a principal supervisor, David has set high expectations for all schools under his tutelage, differentiating supports and effectively coaching principals and teams. David holds the value of our people in all of the relationships that he has developed with staff, certificated and classified across LBUSD, allowing all to be seen for the value that they bring to the work of the district. David contributed to the initiation of the Black Student Achievement Initiative and the opening of the Center of Black Student Excellence. These efforts have resulted in exponential growth of Sankofa parent villages across LBUSD, expansion of community partnerships, and significant growth in academic, wellness, and enrichment opportunities for students. David was a key participant in the development of our guiding principles and budget prioritization processes. In these efforts, he engaged school administrators in providing input about potential reductions, led crucial conversations, and supported school leaders in making plans to prepare for the 26-27 school year. David demonstrates a genuine love for students. This is not a rhetorical stance. It is evident in his daily actions, his decision-making, and the urgency with which he approaches his work. He leads with both heart and discipline, ensuring that every student is seen, valued, and positioned to succeed. His ability to center students while navigating complex organizational demands is a defining strength. David is a listener. He is an innovator. He holds deeply held beliefs about the brilliance and potential of our students. He demonstrates care for members of the LBUSD staff and community. David is a learner and a leader among leaders. Congratulations, David Zaid. This is your moment, and the best of LBUSD is yet to be under your leadership. And as a symbol of our team's commitment to ensuring an effective transition, we have been using the symbol of the baton to remind us of the importance of the handoff. Tonight, I pass the official superintendent baton from myself to you.
President Crockett, if I may, because our communications team is on point. Communication just went out because I get my messages in Spanish. I want to read what we said, what our district said in Spanish here. Big announcement. La Junta de la Educación del Distrito Escolar Unificado de Long Beach aprobó la selección de David Zaid como el próximo superintendente del distrito. El señor Zaid comenzará el 1 de julio y dirigirá el distrito hacia una nueva era de excelencia. Consulte el correo electrónico para obtener más información. Felicidades, David.
And Mr. Zaid, would you like to say something? Since you have the baton.
I have prepared a few words that I would like to share. Good evening, President Craighead, members of the Board of Education, Dr. Baker, the senior leaders, staff, students, families, labor partners, community partners, and the Long Beach Unified community. I stand before you with deep humility, profound gratitude, and an unwavering belief in the promise of Long Beach Unified. This district has never been ordinary. From its beginnings in 1885 with fewer than a dozen students learning in a borrowed tent to today, serving more than 61,000 students across Long Beach, Lakewood, Signal Hill, and Avalon, Long Beach Unified has become one of the most respected urban school systems in the nation. That reputation was not built by accident. It was built by generations of teachers, classified staff, school leaders, families, students, board members, labor partners, civic leaders, and community partners who believed that public education is one of the greatest promises we can make to our children. I want to begin by honoring the Board of Education. To President Diana Craighead, thank you for your leadership, your steadiness, and your commitment to the conditions that allow students, families, and schools to thrive. Vice President Eric Miller, thank you for your advocacy, your thoughtfulness, your governance, and your belief that strong systems must remain deeply connected to the people that they serve. Dr. Juan Benitez, thank you for your unwavering commitment to equity, community voice, language justice, and the lived experiences of our students and families. Miss Maria Isabel Lopez, thank you for your advocacy, your care for families, and your focus on ensuring that every child has access to the conditions for success. And Mr. Doug Otto, thank you for your long-standing service, your institutional and historical wisdom, and your deep commitment to the Long Beach community. Each of you is a leader, a fierce advocate, a committed steward within our community, and I look forward to working alongside you with transparency, disciplined stewardship, clarity, and an unwavering focus on student outcomes. I also want to honor Dr. Jill Baker, an exceptional leader and the first female superintendent in our district's history. Dr. Baker has led through some of the most tumultuous times public education has ever experienced, yet her commitment to equity-driven and student-centered leadership has never wavered. She elevated student voice, stood in solidarity with our immigrant families, helped open the Center for Black Excellence, supported the multilingual plan, led innovation, and strengthened our collective focus on equity, excellence, and belonging. Dr. Baker, your leadership has shaped lives, and your impact in Long Beach will live on for generations to come. I also want to acknowledge an amazing team of senior leaders. In Deputy Superintendent Dr. Tiffany Brown, In-Chief Academic Officer Brian Moskowitz, In-Chief Business and Financial Officer Yumi Takahashi, and the incredible members of our senior team, Dr. Claudia Sosa Valderrama, Dr. Kelly Ahn, Dr. Demita Myers-Miller, Mr. Ed Samuels, Mr. Jack Kalanick, Dr. Nader Twal, and Mr. Jeff Riel. Thank you for your leadership, your stewardship, and your continued commitment to this district. To our school leaders, teachers, classified staff, students, parents, families, TAUB, CSEA, ALBUM, and community partners, I want to share thank you. Long Beach Unified is strong because you have carried this work with skill, resilience, and deep commitment. Our schools are more than buildings. They are places where hope is fostered, where futures are formed, and where families place their trust, and where the promise of Long Beach becomes real, one child at a time. And today I stand before you not as someone who is new to the district, but as someone who has been shaped by our district. I am a proud graduate of Long Beach Unified. I am the father of one Long Beach graduate and 2 current students in Long Beach, and I'm a 32-year employee, and yes, I did throw in the extra 4 years of being a college aide, that has had the privilege of serving Long Beach from the classroom to the cabinet as a teacher leader, a site leader, a labor relations leader, and an assistant superintendent. The journey has allowed me to see Long Beach from many different seats. I've seen strength in our classrooms. I've seen dedication in our teachers. I've seen courage in our principals. I've seen the heart of our classified staff. I've seen parents advocate with love for their children. I have seen community partners step forward, not because they had to, but because they believe in the future of this city. And I've seen students thrive when adults believe in them. I want our site staff to hear this. I began as a teacher's aide and a teacher, and I know that the future of Long Beach is shaped through your daily work. Every lesson planned, every child encouraged, every family contacted, every moment you choose patience and clarity and belief, those moments shape our futures. Our district's success will always be connected to the strength, support, and confidence of the people closest to our students and to our parents and families. When we look at our classroom, we do not see enrollment figures. We see human potential. We see profound promise that we are bound to protect and a very future unfolding before our eyes. Our children are not numbers in our system. They are the reason for our being and the reason for our existence. Long Beach Unified is one of the nation's most respected urban school systems because of its long-standing commitment to innovation, equity, continuous improvement, and strong partnerships with the community. What makes this district special is not its academic history, but the diversity, resilience, and aspirations of the families that we serve. At the same time, we are entering one of the most important transitional periods in our district's history. We must confront declining enrollment with care and clarity. We must stabilize our finances while protecting our instructional core. We must strengthen instructional coherence so every student in every classroom experiences high-quality teaching. And we must deepen belonging, close gaps, and ensure that all students are prepared for the future that they deserve. These are not small challenges. And I recognize that transition can create anxiousness, that change can raise questions, that fiscal realities can create uncertainties, that families want transparency, and teachers want to be heard, and staff want stability and coherence, and community wants to partner with authentic engagement, and students deserve adults who are aligned and courageous and focused. But I believe that Long Beach has never been defined by the size of its challenges. Long Beach has always been defined by the strength of its people, the depths of its partnership, and the courage when we choose students over everything else. So the question before us is not simply where do we go from here? The question before us is, how do we go from here together? Because no superintendent can do this work alone. No board can do this work alone. No school, no department, no classroom, no family, no community partner can carry the promise to our children in isolation. The future before us will require stronger togetherness. It will require us to listen across differences. It will require us to tell the truth with care. It will require us to align our resources with our values. It will require us to protect what matters most. It will require us to move from individual effort to collective responsibility. And it will require us to remember that the world is watching and the future is waiting. The children we serve are watching not only what we decide, but how we decide it and how we come together. My leadership philosophy is grounded in the Adinkra symbol Mati Masi, which means what I hear, I keep, or the wisdom and knowledge collected from the community we put into practice. It reminds me that leadership begins with discipline of listening deeply before acting thoughtfully. It reminds me that the voices of our students, families, teachers, and staff and community are not interruptions to leadership. They are essential to leadership. So Long Beach, you can expect me to come listening to our students, listening to our teachers, listening to our principals, listening to our classified staff, listening to our parents, listening to our labor partners, listening to our community partners, and listening to this board. Listening for hopes, concerns, wisdom. I'm toning it down just a little bit. And courage that already lives within Long Beach. So I return to the question before us, because the question is not, where do we go from here? The question is, how do we go from here together? And maybe, perhaps the answer is found in the word itself, because when you break together apart to get there, we must go together. And to get stronger outcomes, we must go together. To get fiscal stability while protecting the instructional core, we must go together. And in the spirit of Nelson Mandela, who taught the world the power of coming together in collective courage in the face of adversity, and in the spirit of Dolores Huerta, who coined the phrase with conviction, si se puede, yes we can, I believe Long Beach can meet this moment, not divided by the challenges before us, but united by the children depending on us. Long Beach has always been a city of promise, and tonight I believe our next chapter begins with listening, courage, and a shared conviction that every child deserves to be seen, valued, and prepared to thrive. To get there, we must go together. Long Beach, let's go together, united by the children depending on us. Thank you, and a special thank you to my wife, my two daughters, my daughter listening from Berkeley, who have stood behind me every step of the way. Thank you.
And just so you know, we're not expecting that at every board member meeting, but it was nice tonight. Not every board meeting. Thank you for that. Kind of hard to find something to say because I was listening. But when you were listening to the board, I think you could hear that our expectations are high and our support is strong. And I can't add anything to what we just heard. So our next regularly scheduled board meeting is Wednesday. Our next regularly scheduled board meeting is Wednesday, day after tomorrow, June 17th, 5 o'clock. And without any objection, we'll adjourn this meeting, and then we can all breathe a sigh of relief, because we've been holding this, close to the vest. But once again, from the board and the district, congratulations. Thank you.